Who you got?
This guy, let's see. I like, you know what, being an NFC guy my whole career, I'm a little biased. I think it's a better division, even though you got the quarterbacks over there we just talked about with Brady and Manning. But this is the kind of game I like, where it's going to be physical, it's going to be tough. Guys are going to get hit. They're going to get hit hard. They're going to hit often. And when you look at them, their two styles kind of match one another, right? You got the Panthers who want to play the smash mouth football. They want to set up the run through this running game, or set up the pass through the running game with misdirection, counters, zone read, got your quarterback running a power play, which he's unaccounted for in the running game.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing people don't talk about. You know, when a quarterback runs the ball, you don't have the extra guy in the box for him. You know, so, and then looking at Arizona, playing primarily nickel. You know, they got Buchanan in there, a strong safety / linebacker. I will be surprised that Arizona holds up with that physical play of the Panthers for 4 quarters, because what they want to do is wear you down. Get you to now start committing. Now you start bringing pressure, which Arizona does, and now you give Cam those windows. And now he's able to make those easy throws. And to me, watching them last week at home and the way they fed, that defense, the Panthers defense fed off of that crowd, it's hard for me to imagine the Cardinals having success versus that defense. The way those two linebackers are playing, probably better than anything we've seen in the last couple of years next to like Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis when they were together. These guys make plays all over the field. So in this game, I had the Panthers, too physical.
And you're making a strong case. You got another like 10-plus point win?
I think so. I think this. I don't know if it'll get ugly quick like last week, and I hope not, because I was boring. I got to do some grocery shopping and all that stuff in the meantime. But I hope it's close, and I think it's going to be a game, though, where in the fourth quarter, I do think the Panthers' style of play wears down the Cardinals.
All right.
Another medium score.
Yeah.
Stephen A.
Well, I completely agree. I just think that Carolina is going to be physical. I think their defense is going to be a bit physical. Let us not forget the fact that they had turf issues at Bank of America Stadium last week for their game against Seattle, and Seattle had to change its cleats. That was a problem. I think Arizona will be prepared. But nevertheless, if there's any turf issues, that's going to make the ground game that much more important, because the receivers are going to have problems running routes, although they have an advantage because they know where they're going and what they want to do, and the defense is going to have to figure it out. But when you can't run effectively as a wide receiver due to turf issues, that ultimately elevates the importance of your running game, and I'm going to give that advantage to the Carolina Panthers simply because of their physicality. And more importantly, I think the defense will be able to defend against Derek Johnson and the run better than Arizona will be able to defend against the run. Not to mention the fact that because Cam Newton is going to be doing some of that running. And I think that when you have to deal with Cam dropping back to pass, but scrambling and making things happen in that regard, I think those are the kind of things that can work to the advantage of Carolina in a game like this. Again, I anticipate that it'll be a nail-biter. But in the end, I'm of the mindset that Carolina is just too physical, and I'm picking them to win to close. It'll be a tough matchup. It'll be close. Nobody's running away with this. But I think Cam will come to the rescue at the end and deliver the goods, and I think that Carolina is going on to the Super Bowl.
And I don't. As I told Stephen A. to start the show, I'm going with an upset that I don't believe will be that big of an upset. I'm going 28-24 visiting team here. And it's because I think Arizona played in Carolina's shadow the whole year, just barely off in the shadow, and they're going to emerge onto the Super Bowl stage out of that shadow this time. And I think we all got a little misled by watching Arizona Saturday night at home. The team felt a lot of pressure at home. The quarterback didn't play very well. That wasn't Carson Palmer we'd seen all year long. And I think they lifted the pressure off their backs when they finally broke through. He escaped from the pocket, threw it to Larry Fitzgerald.
But that wasn't a design play, right?
It was not. It was a broken play that went for 75 yards and won the football game. But the pressure lifted, and I think you will see this team play loose and cool and like it played on the road all year when it put up the best numbers on the road in the National Football League. Now, to you guys' point, Arizona didn't play at Carolina all year, obviously, but they did play at Seattle, and they just blew Seattle off its home field. It's 39-32, and I don't think this team is afraid of playing on the road. And as I also told Stephen A. earlier, this team has the advantage, small as it might be, of they got to go to this stadium last year and play a playoff game, albeit with Ryan Lindley at quarterback, and they knew they were playing with one arm, his right arm, strapped behind their back. And they totaled 78 yards of offense. They did not have their rookie running back that they have now, David Johnson. It was a collection of running backs. It wasn't very good. And they had no chance on offense, but they led at halftime last year. Right. They led Cam Newton 14-13 at halftime. Again, Cam took over in the third quarter, and maybe it's to your point, maybe they just got battered physically and just worn down through the rest of the game. But my point is that the pressure now goes on the home team. Like, Carolina's going to feel a little bit of pressure. Not Cam. I don't think he feels any pressure. I believe him when he says, I'm not nervous. Is he anxious? Sure, everybody gets anxious, but I believe that. But his teammates might start feeling a little bit of pressure. Maybe Ted Ginn Jr. feels a little bit of pressure. We know he's capable of dropping a ball or two. Maybe he drops a big ball. Maybe somebody breaks down on the back end of a defense that looked torchable against your Giants in that 35-7 comeback game when they tied it, and then looked torchable in the second half by Russell Wilson.
But again, I think we need to understand this too. In the National Football League, it's hard to hold a big lead. It's hard because offensive coordinator, everybody changes, especially when you're going into halftime.
Yep.
That's a whole different perspective of how you come out. And yeah, you say, oh, let's finish them off, but that's not the mindset. You're not coming out with your hair on fire like they did.
No, I got it. Okay. But let's pay a little respect to a Carson Palmer who ran away with the QBR race, the statistical race, over everybody, Cam, anybody else. He ran away with it. And let's give respect to a Bruce Arians who I think is really good at what he does. So I think they will be ready to play. And when we talk about defenses, look, Carolina's lost two good corners. Like, Charles Tillman is really good at what he does. I know he was kind of at the end of the line a little bit, but that Ben Wickery was a talented kid, and they lost him. So now it's just mix and match. The safeties can give up big plays occasionally. I don't know. I think Carson Palmer will do some damage in this game.
So then, to me, that goes back to the offensive line play, because if you looked at that game with Carson Palmer last week, you would say pretty much that entire game until overtime and one or two plays, Carson looked like the Carson of the regular season. He struggled. He looked like the guy he looked like the rookie quarterback than the veteran quarterback who's been there and done that before. Mm-hmm. And then to your point, what I would say what helps out the Panthers is their front four. It's those two big guys up front, because they don't need to just bring pressure from the outside. It's Short and Starr in the middle that right now in your face as a quarterback, and Carson does a great job avoiding, but that changes everything. That makes it so much better and easier for the linebacker play to make the plays that they're making. Why do you think Luke Kuechly's made all these interceptions? Thomas Davis is flying around like that because of the pressure they get with just four guys.
Yep, they do. I still like Arizona.
It's a tough sell.
Mm-hmm. 2 Carolina, 1 Arizona. Antonio, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate you. But do the guys agree on this? Coming up next, who is the real MVP? We'll discuss the best quarterback in the league when we return its First Take rankings.